So I just thought I'd come live quick. Just hope everyone can hear me if this is on. I'm going live on YouTube and also on Instagram. So I've never done this on YouTube, so give me a moment. Okay. And this video, I'm going to be explaining on this live all about how to create lasting change in your life. So making lasting change actually possible, understanding the ins and outs of lasting change, and so that you can really make these shifts long term in your life. Because when I began to understand this, I was able to create lasting change. So again, I'm not quite sure how YouTube live works, but anyone that is in here, please do drop any questions that you have. How to change the feeling of things going wrong. Right, that is a great answer. Let me just type this last thing out. Right, no, I'll do it after. I don't know how to do this. I'm using the camera. Right, I'm also going live on Instagram, so just give me a moment. And Instagram never works first time for some reason. Is the sound good, by the way? Because this is the first time doing this. I've never done it before, and I just want to make sure that this is all good. And I will just be going live now. This video, I'm going to be explaining the power of lasting change, how you can make lasting change in your life. I'm also live on YouTube, so I may be looking at this camera, I may be looking at that camera, but the goal is to give you exactly what you want and how you can actually make lasting change in your life. Now, lasting change really comes from, and anyone that does have any questions about lasting change, please do drop a comment in Instagram, or if you're on YouTube, drop it down on YouTube. Let me know. I'm going to try and do some more live streams for you guys to really give you the information that you really want and need to really make this lasting change. Because once I understood all of this stuff, I was able to make massive shifts in my life. Now, I've got a question on YouTube saying how to change the feeling of things going wrong. So when you say how to change the feeling of things going wrong, do you really mean when things are going wrong? How do we switch out of that negative frame of mind versus and go straight into a positive frame of mind? Is that what you mean by that question? But anyone that's on Instagram and has a question about making change possible, I'm going to be explaining a few things. I've got a few points I'm going to cover here. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be live for. How's it going? But I really want to help you understand, if the things go wrong. So things go wrong even though you had a positive mindset towards it. Is that what you mean? Because that sort of does actually cover my first point, is the circumstance which happens is not actually the issue. For example, two things can happen. No, one thing can happen to two different people. They can both have a completely different reaction to that thing happening because of how they dictate or how they perceive it. So all it is based on is perspective. And I always do this little example with people. Just a second, let me get a pen. So, if you look at this, to you that may be backwards, but essentially what you're seeing is a 6. You're seeing a 9. I'm seeing a 6. Now, who's right? Both of us are right. How you are perceiving something is completely different how I'm perceiving it. Now, I'm not wrong for perceiving it in this way. And just like a negative circumstance, you're not wrong for perceiving it in a painful way. But what is that going to do to help you? And it's not actually going to serve you. So I have a fear coming. What if the specific thing goes wrong and not in my favor? And this is where we need to remove ourselves from that frame of thinking, because when we believe something to go wrong, we have a higher percentage chance of it going wrong. Now, the way we actually step away from that is saying, how could it actually go right? What would it feel like if it went right? And as I said about the circumstances, it's not necessarily the circumstance that happens. It's about how we perceive the circumstance that happens. Because like I said, you see the 9, I see the 6. We're both right. So what's going on is actually correct. But how we're perceiving it is completely different. When you change your perspective, everything in your life begins to change. And that's just a given. That's just the way it is. As soon as you change your perspective, and that's sort of one of the things that I want people to understand, is perspective really matters, and perspective is everything. Because it's not just about, well, the way to change your perspective, if that's your next sort of question, is really changing your energy. How you think and how you feel on a daily basis is what is going to come to you. For example, are you thinking and feeling about thoughts that are abundant, are happy, are confident, are fulfilling, are empowering? Or are you thinking more thoughts that are depressing, anxious, fearful, and negative? Now, if you're in the latter, the second part of that, which is more painful and which is not serving you, then we need to say, how can we get out of that? And this is where this work really comes into play. And two things: your thoughts are an electrical charge that you send out. Your feelings are a magnetic charge you bring in. So when you think something, you are sending out an electromagnetic energy. When you feel something, you are drawing that straight back to you. So if you think, I want to be positive, but you feel negative, they're out of alignment. When two become one and they marry together, that is when the shift happens. So I have fear coming, voice, not my favorite. Okay. Did that sort of answer your question of what you were saying? Because that's the thing. When we think something, we have to feel it in order for it to make sense, in order for it to work. So how can we think and feel in coherence with exactly that which we want? And what it's really getting down to is really focusing on possibilities and thinking something is possible. When you believe something to be possible, that means you believe in yourself. When you believe in possibilities, you believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, you believe in possibilities. You believe that something better is there for you. Now, the power of this is really moving into this frame of mind before it's made manifest, because it's very easy to say thank you when someone gives you something. Very easy to say thank you when someone gives you something. But what's a little bit more difficult is saying thank you before someone has given you something. Now, that is not normal. That is abnormal to the world we live in today. Let me just open the window. That is abnormal to the world that we live in today, because we have been programmed and conditioned to believe that we will only feel an emotion or feel a feeling once we have been given or once we have achieved that which we want. So we will only feel wealthy once we receive our wealth. Sorry, just sorting out the camera. We will only feel healthy once we receive our healing. We will only feel happy once we receive happiness. We will only feel love when we receive that partner in our life. Now, the goal is to really get yourself to that place before it is made manifest, before it has already been created in your life. Did that? So you have a happy thought, and sometimes this fear comes up. Okay, and that's perfectly normal. And what that's doing is the body, or the body, which is the subconscious mind, is saying, I've never felt this. It is uncomfortable for me to feel this. Therefore, it makes more sense to go back to fear, because I can predict what it's going to feel like to be scared. I can predict that. The body likes predictability. We are habitual beings. And the reason we do things in our life, for example, the side where I have my parting, the reason I put it there is because it's habitual. I can do it every day. The sock that I put on first, the hand I used to brush my teeth in the morning, it is habitual. I do things habitually, and that makes it easier for me to get through the rest of my day, because there's other things that just happen on autopilot, just like driving a car. So it makes sense that your body is naturally becoming fearful when you're trying to do something that is going to bring you happiness. It makes sense. It doesn't mean you should feel that way, and it doesn't mean you should feel that way for the rest of your life. But what that really means is that you need to begin to understand the power that your thoughts you send out are electric. The feelings you feel are magnetic, which draws it back. And when thoughts align with feelings, that brings that into alignment, which then brings it to you. It makes you, it basically, the way that it was said by Sadhguru, it said, when two become one, that is when you begin to make the shifts. When two thoughts and feelings align, that is when things manifest into your life. For example, someone that manifests, and I'll give an example, Jeff Bezos. He doesn't have to think, am I going to be abundant today? He has a knowing that he is going to make, I don't even know how much his company makes every day. He just has a knowing. Someone that is in a relationship of their dreams, they don't think, am I going to have to find love today? They are just love. They are love. So then it goes to say, how do we get to that place before it comes? Now, you may be in a place right now where you are struggling with that, which I completely understand. Because when you haven't received something, how can we say thank you? Because we've been conditioned as a society to not say thank you before we get something. That is just how society has taught us. Now, whether that is right or wrong, I personally believe it's wrong. I may be wrong. But it's really allowing us to dictate where we choose our thoughts and feelings to go to. And it's really saying, and this is a question I would like to ask you. If you thought 1,000 negative thoughts in a day, and you thought 3 positive thoughts in a day, how do you think your day is going to go? Versus if you thought 1,000 positive thoughts and 3 negative thoughts, how do you think your day is going to go? Now, yes, something good may happen on the negative days, something bad may happen on the positive days. But how much more likely are you to have a positive day if you're focusing your intention on things that are good versus things that are bad? And it was like Albert Einstein once said, do you live in a friendly or a hostile universe? Because you get to choose. There's great things going on in the world right now. There's bad things going on in the world right now. It doesn't really matter which one's going on, because that's always going to happen. There's night, there's day. There's hot, there's cold. There's good, there's bad. And that's part of life. We have to accept that that is part of life, and that's always going to be part of life. So how do we make that shift and feel happy before we have happiness? How do we make, and it sounds stupid. It literally, that is literally what it is down to a T. How do you become happy? You feel happy first. How do you become abundant? You feel abundant first. And for anyone that, the reason I like to use abundance and wealth is because some people that are in the business world necessarily don't believe in all this kind of stuff, don't believe the power of your, well, they believe in the power of their thoughts, but they moved into a state of being before they even did what they were doing. Those people that have built those huge companies moved into a state of being of abundance. They took control. They walked as the CEO of the company. They talked like the CEO of the company. They connected with people like the CEO of the company, which then made them a powerful CEO of the company. They went from thinking about it to doing it to then just being it. How do you break the habit of being yourself? Love that question, Richie. And anyone that doesn't already know, this is a great book by Joe Dispenza. So you've literally just said the title. I don't know whether you have read the book or not, but Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself is an incredible book. Sorry, you're on the YouTube one. And the way we do break the habit of being ourselves is really by changing everything that we are beginning to do in our daily life. So the first thing is awareness. Awareness is everything. Where you place your energy, or where you place your intention, is where you place your energy. Where you place your energy is what is going to happen. For example, if I focus on red cars or red Mercedes, how likely do you think it is that I'm going to see a red Mercedes in a day? Highly likely, because there's something in your brain called the reticular activating system, which gets activated to then look for exactly what you're focusing on. So if you're focusing on the red Mercedes, you're going to find the red Mercedes, even if it's in different places where it isn't normally. You've been consciously following the law of attraction, and sometimes I really doubt if this is real. And that is interesting. That is really interesting, actually, because I know exactly what you mean, and I've been in that place many times before. And what it comes down to, I have manifested a lot of things, but why do I doubt? Well, the reason you will doubt it is, and I'll explain sort of with my past with the law of attraction. I've manifested retreat tickets, Tony Robbins tickets, thousands of pounds, clients. I've manifested the business. I've manifested what I'm doing right now. I've manifested a car. I've manifested money. I've manifested love. I've manifested pretty much everything. And the reason we start to drift away, and I know where this is coming from, because I did this not so long ago, and I was like, but is that the law of attraction, or is that just the fact that I've been acting on that? And what it came down to was the power that I gave to it. When something would happen that I was looking to manifest, that's where the gratitude comes into play. When you start to really believe that there's something higher than you, and mentally, great, what's going on, my man? How are you, bro? But when you start to believe there's something higher than you, and that doesn't necessarily mean you have to believe in some sort of God, just something that is higher than you. When we lose our ego and say, I am not it, I'm not it, then we begin to give ourselves away. What is going on, guys? We begin to give ourselves away to the power, or we begin to give away our power, but we have so much more power than you truly think. You want something in your life, you can manifest that. Now, the way we do manifest is when we align our thoughts with our feelings, which brings that energy to us. Thoughts send out the electrical charge. Feelings draw it back in with the magnetic charge, which then brings us to become one. They combine together, and that's what begins to change our life. You want more money, you think abundant thoughts, you feel abundant, more money is there. You want a better relationship, you think loving thoughts, love comes to you. And that really is how it works. Now, if we've been programmed for years upon years upon years to not feel in this way, then it's going to be very difficult to get there. It is. It's completely abnormal. It is like writing with your left hand. I can write very easily with my right hand. I can look at the camera and I can talk while writing my name. Now, it's not the neatest of handwriting, but that is my name. Now, obviously, it looks a little bit crap. But if I do it with my left hand, now I really can't talk, and I can't really do joined up writing either, but I can't not look. And you can just see the difference. It's all shaky because I'm not used to doing it with my left hand. So then it says, how do we begin to make these changes in our life? Start doing things that we don't usually do. If you want to change your life, start brushing your teeth with your left hand if you do it with your right hand. Can you share your spiritual awakening with us? Yes, I can do, actually. I may not do it on in this video, or actually I won't do it on the Instagram one because that's about change, or I might do, I don't know, I might go on for a while, who knows. If you guys are interested, I can still go on here about my spiritual awakening as well. But that's really what it comes down to, is where we focus our intention on a daily basis. If I focus my intention on writing with my left hand for 30 days, 60 days, 100 days, eventually I'm going to get much better at it. So where are you focusing your intention right now? Is it on the fact that your first, second, and third business failed? Or is it the fact that your fourth business could be successful? Is it the fact that you've been betrayed by your past 3 relationships? Or is it the fact that the next relationship could be the one? Is it the fact that you lost thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of pounds? Or is it the fact that you have the ability to now make hundreds of thousands of pounds? Or even the fact that you had the ability to have it, to then lose it, to then remake it? Because where you place your focus is where you place your energy. So when we begin to make those shifts, everything begins to change, if that makes sense. But in regards to really making the changes in your life, that's really what it stems down to, is make your thoughts and emotions become one. You feel abundant thoughts, you think abundant thoughts, you feel abundant, you will be abundant. You feel loving thoughts. You think loving thoughts, you feel love, and love as an emotion, you will attract love into your life. That is just naturally it. We literally are made up of energy. We give off energy vibe, and you can walk into a room and say, you could cut you can cut the energy in here with a knife because it's so tense. Now, you do the exact same thing when you walk past someone and you're just like, they've just got such good energy. You can feel that. And that really is a thing. And well, we are made up of energy. It's just now scientifically proven. And you read this book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, you will be able to understand the science of it and really dive deep into it. And I was even thinking, do I want to learn quantum physics, neuroscience, all that kind of stuff? And I was like, I would love to, but information is readily available right now. You listening to this can get all this information to change your life. You literally can. If you apply everything that I'm speaking about in this video, you will change your life. If you allow your thoughts and feelings to align, you will change your life. You will become whoever you want to become. And if you have negative thoughts, negative feelings, what's going to happen? Negativity. But that's really where that's sort of covering that. So then it's really just saying, where are you focusing your intention every single day? And the more you do it, the quicker you do it, or the more you do it, the better you get. Just like with my left hand, if I do it once a day, I'll be all right after 30 days. If I do it 10 times a day, I'm going to be pretty good after 30 days. If I do it 100 times a day, every day for 30 days, writing with my left hand, I'm going to be much more capable at writing with my left hand. So it makes sense to continue to do that. So if you want to do it more, or the more you do it, the better you get. But also it's kind of like going to the gym. If you go to the gym 1 time a week, you're going to see some changes. If you go to the gym 3 times a week, you're going to see some decent changes. If you go to the gym 5, 7 times a week, you're going to see massive changes in your life because you're actively putting your intention, your thoughts are going with the feeling of, I want to get fit. It's giving you the motivation to do it. Then you are taking the action, which is giving you the results. Now, even science does actually prove that you can get the results from mental rehearsal. But I always say to people, why not mentally rehearse something? See yourself in the gym, getting in the best shape of your life, feeling amazing about yourself, but also going actively and doing it, getting a personal trainer if you need a personal trainer, eating a healthy diet. Then you begin to make all of these shifts in your life, and you begin to become the person that you always wanted to be. If your thoughts don't want to align with your feelings, That is normal. So anyone that's experiencing that, that is fine. That is normal. When I was anxious, for me to come away from anxiety, it meant doing something I didn't know how to do. I didn't know how to be happy. I didn't know how to be confident. And I didn't know what to do. So then it made me think, how do I do that? And this is where you find someone to model. If you don't have the answers already, and you do, but if you don't feel like you have the answers already, find someone who's done what you want and go and do what they've done, and then you'll get the same result. What if your mind wants to do it consistently, but your body is exhausted? And that is exactly where we have to persevere. That is the hardest part. When we hit that wall, it literally is like driving along a road. We've hit a few bumps, bang, bang. We just keep hitting that wall. And it really is to the point where it is just exhausting. It is just painful. I don't think I can do this anymore. And we do get to that point. Now, when we get to that point, that is the changing point. If we can grasp it, we can hold on just that little bit longer. There was a meme that I saw. I put it in a few videos where guy is digging for gold. He finds a load of gold, carries on digging, and doesn't find anything else. The other guy finds a tiny bit of gold, carries on digging, and gets towards like inches away from digging and finding the literally so much gold, and turns away at the last minute. Healing isn't easy. Making money isn't necessarily, it's simple. It's not easy because you have to be consistent. And that's really what it comes down to is I can help anyone make these changes. Please explain examples with such examples. What do you mean by that about explaining examples? Do you mean the spiritual awakening or is there anything else? But yeah, it's really getting to that point where you can just keep persevering. And that doesn't mean you put 100% in every day, because there's some days, like for example, today I felt high motivation. I was like, I'm live streaming twice. I've posted one video to YouTube. I'm going to post this to Instagram. I'm going to post another one to Instagram. I'm going to make another YouTube video. I'm going to edit more videos because I was like, if I want to get there faster, I need to put in more work. Now, it depends on your goals. It depends on your aspirations. It depends on your optimism, how far you want to go. If you want to get in the best shape of your life, you want to be like absolutely shredded, then don't have a cheat meal. But if you don't want to not have cheat meals and you want to eat some crap food sometimes, then have a cheat meal. But it really depends on your goals, and your thoughts must align with your goals. And don't lower your goals to meet your actions. Higher your actions to meet your goals. That's something I learned from a mentor once. Much love from Australia. Amazing stuff. See, we're worldwide, guys. We are worldwide. Much love, Richie. Have a great night. How you dealt with anxiety and changing the mindset about anxiety. Okay, so in regards to the anxiety example, the first few things were really what is causing my anxiety, what is triggering my anxiety, and this. So moving on, sort of from how we actually make the change in our life, I will give the life change that I made with anxiety, for example. Now, I always had anxiety because I used to mask it with drugs. So when I started taking a lot of drugs, I became confident. It was false confidence. So when I was taking them, it gave me the sense that I was okay, but it was just masking everything. Now, when I stopped taking them, it hit me hard, literally like a sack of spuds, I say. Really hit me hard. And it just tore me down and down and down and down and down. I stopped going out. I stopped speaking to people. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to feel it. I literally was just feeling pain all the time. Now, the way I began to change was saying, what am I doing that is causing me anxiety? I was taking drugs and I was drinking a lot. So I slowly started to come off of that. Then I started to say, am I consuming material that is positive and going to help me develop confidence? Because confidence is a skill. Confidence is not a born personality trait. No one is born confident. No one is born anxious. You learn either one. When you're born, you are literally just like an empty hard drive. Empty hard drive. What is on there is based by the people you listen to, the information you take in, the books you read, the songs you listen to. All of that stuff is made into or is put into your hard drive. So then how do you begin to make those shifts? And this is where I started making the shifts. And it really started with the awareness to say, what is causing the anxiety in my life? Awareness is everything. I will say that to everyone multiple times. I've said it on here multiple times. Awareness is everything. If you put your awareness on your tongue where it is sitting in your mouth right now, you can now feel your tongue. If you've got your mouth closed, Is it touching the roof? Is it touching the bottom? You can now feel that. So then if you can feel that, how do we change that? We take our intention, and I now want you to focus your intention on your right foot. Now just like wriggle your right foot, wriggle your right foot and sort of like do circles with it. Now take your intention off your right foot while looking at your right foot. You can still feel your right foot, and I can still feel my right foot. And I can see my left foot, but I can't even feel it because I'm focused on my right foot. Where focus goes, energy flows, and that is how we begin to make the shifts. So my focus was always on what is causing me anxiety. And when I started to be aware of what it was, I began to move away from things that caused me anxiety. Going out drinking all the time, I stopped doing it because it caused me anxiety. I woke up the next day feeling like crap, so it didn't make sense. All these type of things. How's it going? How's it going? All these type of things that used to cause me the anxiety, I started to not necessarily avoid, but become aware of that it's not for me. And then I started to do things that would step me outside of my comfort zone bit by bit. Now, it doesn't happen like that. I didn't just eliminate my anxiety in a day. It took me a good 2 years, 3 years, but now I've got tools that do it much faster. That's why I say when I work with people, we can do it in 7 weeks. And if you do want to work with me, send me a message so that we can schedule in a call, see where you are, see where you want to be, and we can bridge that gap to exactly how you get there. But that's really where I began to make the changes in my life, was when I started to take the small steps. And I made a video today and I was talking about how to stop worrying about what people think. And that really is anxiety, because you're worried about what people think. What's your current moment hey Max, what's your current in the moment process to soothe anxiety? Breathing over everything. Breathing is the most powerful way. Now, we've got to be aware of what it feels like before anxiety starts to kick off. If you are aware of what causes the anxiety and it starts to rise, that is where you can make those shifts. If you know that when you start to feel the feeling in your stomach, anxiety is going to kick off after that, then we can say, how do we catch it before it starts to become? Gain confidence by by being exposed to uncomfortable things. 100%. Thanks, man, aggressively. But there's types of breathing techniques. For example, if you want to calm yourself down, the best thing is longer exhales and deep inhales. So through your nose. Deep inhales and longer exhales, longer slow exhales. That is one of the first things you can do, because again, you're focusing your attention on something slow. What is anxiety? Anxiety is fast. Anxiety is like this. Everything going on anxiety. Your mind's going all over the place. When you focus your attention on the straight away, everything begins to slow back down. I have got a question. Have you ever tried Wim Hof breathing? I have. I'd love Wim Hof breathing. And I did see what you said there, my man. I don't fancy going out drinking all the time. You prefer quiet places. And that's the thing. It's realizing who are you? Who are you? Are you an extrovert? Are you an introvert? I'm an introvert. I don't like going out loads of places. I don't like being around loads of people. And I've always thought of myself, when I'd been at events, I always thought I don't really like being in the crowd of events, but I'd like to be on the stage talking to people. And even when I had severe anxiety, I always wanted that. I always wanted to be the person that was giving it, because then I can go back and I can be on my own. And I like that. I like my own company. Now, that's not the right answer for everyone. Some people need to be around people. They just operate better. They just recharge through being around people. And that really depends on who you are. Really itchy nose. I reckon most of us are ambiverts. I know I am. Yeah, and anyone that is, that's just, anyone doesn't know what an ambivert is. That's just an introvert, extrovert mix sort of thing. And I completely agree with you. And it really depends on who you are. I personally just prefer smaller crowds of people. Like if I'd rather be with like 1 or 2 people, that's just my preference. It doesn't mean I don't always avoid places where there's more people, because sometimes it makes sense. You can have a good time. You can meet new people. You can network, all that kind of stuff. So there's loads of stuff you can do. You have to focus on breathing, bring your awareness to breathing. And it really is true with that. Like I said earlier in the video, where you place your focus, where focus goes, energy flows, essentially. So if your energy is flowing to your breath, or your focus flowing to your breath, your energy is flowing back to calm. If that makes sense. And you can really, we're back, I think. Yeah. I've got a really itchy nose. My mustache is making me really itch. But it really takes the toll out of you. And I'm going to have to go off live here on Instagram soon. I'm on YouTube if anyone wants to jump over. But it's starting to run out my phone. And it looks like it's going a bit crazy. I don't know. The microphone's jumping up and down. But because an introvert would be... Well, that's the thing. We have been told that introverts mean shy. Introverts just mean, like, if I search up the definition of introvert, let me get it so I don't butcher it. Introvert definition. Why can't they give me 1 second? But the definition of an introvert is introvert. Oh, that's true. I generally thought it wasn't that. A shy and reticent person. What does reticent person mean? Huh, that's interesting. There you go. I've learned something new, and I said something completely wrong. There you go. Maybe I am more of an ambivert then. I just don't necessarily like to be around loads of people. How do I schedule a free hypnotherapy call? If you go onto maxhindle.com, there will be a button that you can press that will link you to my calendar. Or if you go onto, I believe in the description on YouTube, you should be able to find it. Or if you go onto any of my other videos, you should be able to find it quite easily. And then there's just a few questions you can answer, which will help me see if I'm the right person to help you, see if you're in a position where I can help you. And then we can jump on a call and really discuss where you are and how I can be the right person to help you. You do have to be over 18, by the way, guys, if you're listening to that. So an ambivert is a person who likes spending time with people, but okay, that's interesting. There you go. I've learned something new. So yeah, I'd say I probably am then. I must be, because I'm not a shy person. But there's times where I just don't like to speak to people. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I'll be walking and I will just speak to everyone. Other times I'll put my headphones on and I will just walk because I just want to listen to a book. I just want to listen to an audio book, or I just want to listen to a video, or want to listen to something motivating. Most of us need a breathing machine to breathe for us because we're lazy. Elon Musk, where you at? and it's so true. Like, all the stuff that really helps us change in life is completely free. Breathing is free. Meditation is free. Healthy food is not necessarily free, but you can grow it. But all the stuff that costs, even and I did a video the other day about stress. What causes or what relieves stress? Some people think smoking relieves stress. The thing that relieves stress is the breathing while smoking. That's what relieves the stress. Like, scientifically, that is what relieves the stress. We associate the cigarette to the breathing, or we associate the cigarette to stress relief, which then creates the habit of smoking, which then relieves stress. So which one actually is easier? Breathing is free. You don't have to go to a shop to buy cigarettes, and you can reduce your stress. Smoking, you have to go to the shops to get your cigarettes. You cause yourself negative, lung function. Like, it hurts your lungs, it hurts your immune system, and it costs money. So logically speaking, it's actually more effective to breathe properly. But no one's taught how to breathe. When we go to school, we're not taught how to breathe properly. Why not? We're not taught the basic things. So this is why I like to do these lives, make these videos, to really help you make these shifts in your life, because at the end of the day, everything that I'm teaching is free. If you want to work with me, that costs money. It's a service. It's like someone painting a house. It's a service that I can get you to your result in 7 weeks. It makes sense. Exactly. It's the reward factor. So when we begin to you can really change your subconscious belief while sleeping with affirmations. Yes, you can. You actually can. I do it sometimes, and I think it's a great thing. I think it's a great thing to do, because when we are sleeping, our mind is running overnight. It's still on. Our subconscious mind is always on. When you're sleeping, it's running your nervous system. It's allowing you to breathe properly. It's allowing you to move around if you need to. it's even allowing you to talk, like people talk in their sleep, don't they? Yeah, and like you said there, it's the dopamine hit of rewarding yourself with something. So they're the type of things that cause the addiction, because sugar is one of the most addictive substances on planet Earth. That's why when you stop eating sugar, it's very hard. Might not be the breathing because you inhale smoke. Well, no, it's the deep breath of the cigarette. So the dopamine is the reward factor, but it's the deep breath of. Because the part of breathing isn't just the inhale, it's actually the exhale as well. And when people smoke, they don't go, they breathe deeply. And if you just do that, if you just do the act of smoking for a couple of minutes, you'll start to see your physiology begin to calm down. And you will start to see that. So that's that. What about the smoking example? But 100%, there is the dopamine hit from all these stimulants. You know what I mean? Sugar, like you say, sugar, caffeine, nicotine, all that kind of stuff. They give you the dopamine hit, which then, like you said, it connects and even things like porn. Do you know what I mean? It's not a real high. It's a false high. And the more we open ourselves up to all these false highs, the more we begin to need more the next time. The more you need to shop for stuff and you get a buzz from shopping, the next time you shop, the more you need to shop. The more alcohol you drink, the next time you drink, the more you have to drink to get as drunk. It's like a repetitive cycle. Whereas with breathing, you don't need more each time. As I said, it's free. It's an easier way of doing it. But we've been conditioned that we need an external stimulant: coffee, alcohol, drugs, smoking, sugar, to relieve ourselves, to give that dopamine hit. Now you can have those dopamine hits through things like deep meditation, through things like deep breathing. You can make these shifts through these free methods. I think also the fact when you smoke. Exactly. Like you said. So when you're smoking, you are doing some sort of action which is taking you away from everything that's going on. Why do people masturbate? Because they want to be taken away from the outer world. Yeah, their external world. Why do people drink? Because they want to cover everything from the internal, and they want to just rely on things externally. So when you focus on something else, a drink in your hand, a cigarette in your mouth, is one, you are focusing your actions away from your feeling, which is a negative feeling right now. When you begin to focus your actions, or when you begin to focus on your actions that are away from your negative feelings, then you mask the pain. That's essentially what's happening. I used to smoke for 2 years. It's something I analyze myself. Difficult and a dirty habit and a drug. And it is, at the end of the day, it's something that just causes, there's no positive benefits to it whatsoever. There isn't. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that smoking is going to kill you tomorrow. It might not. I don't know. Now, there's obviously studies out there that prove that smoking isn't good for you. And it even says smoking kills on the packet. But it's down to you to make that decision to say, do I really want to change this? Do I really want to let go of this negative habit? And the way we let go of negative habits is by focusing our intention on the habit. Is this going to serve me? Do I want to do this? If you do want to do it, then there's nothing I can do to help. If you don't want to do it, then it's about saying, okay, so when am I most likely to go and have this cigarette? It happens every time I get into an argument with this friend. How often do you get into an argument with this friend? Every 2 days. Does it make sense to begin to evaluate the relationship, whether this is causing you the stress to make you want to smoke more? Is your health worth the toxicity of this relationship to continue on? Is it? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It changes so much after I quit. It affects your smell a lot. And sugar does affect your taste. You can be more sensitive to it. And that's the thing. It's like someone who is an alcoholic. Give them one drink and it does nothing. Absolutely nothing. They need more. Every time we need more. And I've done this before. So with the sugar example, if you have ever fasted, I fasted for 3 days, did a water fast for 3 days. I've done it a couple of times. And the first thing I had was a banana smoothie. And the taste of it was the nicest thing I have ever tasted in my whole life. Ever. Because it was the comparison. It was the comparison. Initially, it was painful. No, initially it was hard to remove myself from the sugar. When I had it again, it was like, oh my God, that is heaven. So you do begin to build up a tolerance, but the more you have that contrast, you did 30 days no sugar. That's powerful. That's powerful. And that will have a massive effect on yourself. That will have a huge effect on yourself. And then you realize you don't need it every day. Like whenever I've stopped eating sugar for a few days, you have those withdrawal effects. You have those withdrawal effects from smoking, from drinking, from sugar, from all these type of things. Any addiction is going to cause you pain. I sort of went off a bit topic of what I was discussing initially. It was about sort of the main thing of change. What are your benefits did you find in water fasting? So water fasting specifically, benefits was a completely cleared out system. I just felt clean. I felt cleansed. That's the idea of it. It was the reason people fast is for a cleanse, and it was very good. I got a lot from it. Now, when you do water fasting, the recommendation is to not do anything. You don't want to be burning calories. You don't want to be working out. You don't want to be running. You don't want to be doing anything that's strenuous, because you just don't have the capacity to do these things. The best thing you can do is meditate, because you don't need any physical capacities to do that. But it was good for shredding sort of fat, and I believe, I may be wrong, but I believe it was good for my metabolism, to speed up your metabolism. So anyone that wants to do that, again, I'm not a health guru at all. I don't know too much about it. I just eat a healthy lifestyle and live a relatively healthy lifestyle. But it was good. Also, it builds the discipline to say, I'm going to refrain from having food. I want food right now. I am hungry. And refraining from that is powerful. Refraining from something that you really, really want is powerful. Now, when things come to me and I'm like, I really, really want that, sometimes I accidentally give in. And I'm like, oh, I gave in. There we go. That's just unfortunate. But it's addressing that I did give in. Whereas other times, I can refrain myself and say, I'm strong enough to hold out until I want this thing, whatever it is. And that's a powerful way to be. You don't take much sugar in your drinks. Yeah, I would always recommend 3 to 4 teaspoons. Oh, in all your drinks. Well, that's the thing. I drink a lot of filtered water. I pretty much just drink water every day. And that's one of the best things I ever did. I used to never drink any water at all. The more I exercise, the more I want to drink. And that's true. Yeah, that's true. And they sort of all combine. Eventually, you get all of these together. Like, for example, the more water you drink, the more you think, oh, maybe I should start eating a little bit healthier. And the more healthy you start to eat, you think, oh, maybe I should start exercising, etc. How do you deal with procrastination? Procrastination is a very good one. That's a very good one, actually. The reason we procrastinate as people is because we don't have enough leverage to get us to do the thing we want to do. Now, what is it you're procrastinating on, Federico? Because, yeah, the reason, like I say, the reason we procrastinate is because of the pain of thinking it's going to be tougher than it actually is. For example, I was sitting here just before I jumped on live. Meditation. Okay, brilliant. What is your goal with meditation? How long do you aim to meditate for? How long do you want to meditate for? And what is that going to give you through meditation? Because, like I say, procrastination is just not allowing ourselves. I've been meaning to procrastinate, but I haven't got around to it. That's the thing. Yeah, procrastination. That's procrastinate on procrastination. That's the best thing you can procrastinate on. But it's really moving yourself into that place of having enough leverage to say, what is meditation going to give you versus what you don't already have. If I said to someone right now, if you do not run 5 miles every single day from today, you're going to drop dead. That is a lot of leverage to get someone to run 5 miles. If you've got one day, every day, one time of the day, you are going to find time. You're going to, no, not find time. You're going to make time for that 5 mile run because there's too much on the line. Now, if you just think meditation is just going to make you feel relaxed, then there's not really much motivation to go and do it. It's like having a massage. Yeah, I love massage. I love massages. But what I get from a massage isn't as beneficial as doing these videos and helping more people, because that dictates to my purpose in life, which is spreading content online and helping as many people as possible. But anyone that is watching this on Instagram, go and head over to my YouTube. My phone is just about to die. Just type in Max Hindle on YouTube. You'll find me. Go and subscribe. If you do want to schedule a subconscious mind analysis so that we can understand where you are, where you want to be, and we can bridge that gap, either send me a message or click the link on my website. How's it going? And yeah, feel free to jump over. So if you are on Instagram, jump over to the YouTube and we will talk on that. And I will go to one phone now. But thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. Make sure you go and change your life and have an amazing day. Okay, now I'm going to have to just quickly share this to IGTV just so that it doesn't delete. But hold on, let me just move the camera slightly. I can't see the questions. There we go. How's it going, T? You've been, yeah. So the biggest thing is really having that leverage and to say meditation is going to really help me change my life. Once we have that understanding, then meditation will, you won't procrastinate, because it's something that is so important that you need to do. Not something you might do, not something you are thinking about doing, something that has to happen. For example, do you wake up at a certain time every morning to get to work? Do you procrastinate on waking up in the morning to get to work? Oh, here you were doing the recording. Yeah, I'm recording this. I think this can save. I'm not sure. I've never done a YouTube live stream before. I'm just uploading the one to Instagram as well, because I've just gone off that because my phone's about to die. How to change your life. But does anyone else have any questions? Ah, there we go. There we go. But I was wondering who it was. I was like, I don't know that name. But it's really understanding the leverage that you have to get you to where you want to be. If the leverage is high, you're going to do it. And it's like how they say people, iShot Gaming Channel. It's like how they say people, the mums that get into car crash and end up getting superhuman strength to push the car off. Like the leverage was, my kid's going to die. I'm going to do all it takes to get this car off, versus someone to say, oh no, everyone's perfectly fine. Let's try and move the car. The leverage just isn't high enough. Short online persona. Love it. Love it. Does anyone else have any other questions on what I've been speaking about? Let me just upload this video. It's Tori. I watched your live yesterday. Ah, got you. How's it going, Tori? How are you doing? Has anyone got any topics they would like me to cover on YouTube specifically? I'm really trying to dial in. My aim is to do every day on YouTube. That's my aim. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, but I'm going to give it a go. I'm doing 3 times a week at least, but the goal is 5 times a week. Music, anything about music. What do you mean? I do. I'm good. Finally got my hair done. Feeling more human. Love it. And that's the thing, Tori. It's about making those slowly daily changes. And I'm thinking about doing more lives on here. I thought I've never done it before. How long is it taking you to get 1.5k subs? Pfft, a long time. It's taken me 2 and a bit years, I think. And how it, music and how it relates to self-development and personally for you. Yes, that's a good one, actually. I'll write that down. I shall write that down. But I don't know if you can, save these lives. How music helps with personal growth. Do you find it difficult to go on YouTube? Yeah, I do. It's very difficult. I spend a lot of time. Oh, lives do get saved. Okay. Yeah, I spend a hell of a lot of time. I spend out, like, majority of my time, even though I have 155,000 on TikTok and 12,000 on Instagram. I spend more of my time on YouTube because it's more an informative platform, and long term I want to be able to reach more people, and I want to actually help more people. So YouTube's given me the ability to do that, because people come on here to actually watch videos, whereas Instagram's more scroll, TikTok's more a minute long, so I don't really have the ability to do that. I do have all the understanding of what meditation could bring me, because every time I consistently, my life changes for the better, or better saying, I change. Okay, interesting. So you do begin to make a change, you understand the power of it. So what is causing you to not do it? Like, when you think, oh, I'm going to meditate, what is going on in your mind to say, actually, no, I'm not going to do it? Like, because that's where we need to find the turning point. Do we go left or do we go right? At the moment you're going left, we need to start going right. Speaking of recording, how do you find the content idea of TikTok Reels and other content you make? Do you know what? TikTok is literally off the top of my head. It really is. I've actually got one I've got to edit today. I did at the beach. I go out for a walk in meditation. I tell you, it comes to me when I'm meditating. A lot of my ideas for TikTok. You find it difficult to speak in 15 to 30 to 60 minutes. 15, 30 seconds to 60 minutes. Oh, maybe we could just do a mini meditation now. Yeah, I don't really. There's just a lot of resistance on the body and can't do it. Okay. And do you have a set time that you would like to do it? And also, how long do you want to meditate for? Because the way that I started with meditation, I started doing it once a week, then 3 times a week after a month, 4 times a week, 5 times a week. Then I got to the point where I was beginning to do more meditation, and now I just went full in with it. Now, sometimes I recommend this, sometimes I don't, but I went full in with it. And I did 30 days, twice a day, every day. Ever since that first day, I've meditated twice a day, every day, ever since. Now, there's been a few days where I've missed the evenings or I've missed the mornings, but I don't think I've missed a day in about 4 years, 5 years, because it's just part of me. It's just part of me. I don't see myself as I have to meditate. It's just part of who I am, if that makes sense. Right, let me just add this. I'm nearly there. That's the only thing about doing live on here and a live on Instagram, because you need to post it again. Oh no. I think my phone's going to die. Ooh. And it's really understanding where is the resistance in your body, Federico, and putting your focus on that. Where is the resistance in your feet? Is it literally trying to like make you run away from the unknown? Because meditation is unknown. It's something unfamiliar. This video, I'm going to be explaining. Same here, Max. You need dedication for meditation. It's so true. It is so true. It doesn't just. It's not easy in your heart area. Okay, interesting. Federico, I want you to just close your eyes for the moment and just focus your intention on your heart. And if you can, obviously, if you're driving, do not do this. If you're operating machinery, do not do this. But if you have the ability, just close your eyes and just focus on your heart. What emotions are coming to you from your heart? And don't reply. Like, give yourself a moment to really sit there with it, because we need to really realize what is it that what is pushing me away from it. Your heart is clearly saying there's something not right with this, but there's nothing wrong with meditation. So it's just a mix-up. It's like saying a word wrong. The word's not necessarily wrong. You've just pronounced it in the wrong way, or it's just been said in the wrong way. You want to ask that? I don't meditate as generally have my shit and my thoughts together. Do you think you still? Oh, 100%. I don't care who anyone is, how enlightened someone is. The reason they are enlightened is because they meditate. The reason people are so happy is because they have still time. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean have to be meditation in the common sense of like sitting down with your incense sticks, like chanting with like your mudras going doesn't necessarily mean that. Because you don't have to do that. I do that because I like doing that. It's fun. I like crystals. I like all this esoteric stuff. 1 second, just adding it to my story. But it's really saying like the reason people are so happy is because they focus on being still. They have a practice, whether that is prayer, whether that is meditation. It just has to be some sort of self-reflection. Now, I go out for walking meditations every day. I do 3 meditations a day at the moment. I do 1 in the morning, then I go out down the beach for a walking meditation, as long as it's not raining, and I do 1 in the evening. Now, I wouldn't have done that initially because it was too much effort. It was too much effort. I feel I meditate on the day-to-day basis because I tend to have internal conversations with myself, and I find I'm quite meditative. And that's the thing, is finding your type of meditation. Now, I always do recommend, regardless, everyone should have some sort of meditation practice where it is eyes closed, but then also do it with your eyes open. Like, yes, you can sit down and be happy with your eyes closed. Right now, it may not be very easy for you, but for me, that's very easy because I've practiced. So it doesn't just happen. It's because I've practiced. I've done it and you don't have to do it for a long period of time. You just have to do the right thing. And if you go onto my channel, you'll see some of my meditations, and you can really do that. But I am going to bring out a walking meditation because I love walking meditations. Because once you've done it with your eyes closed, the goal is to do it with your eyes open. Can you be walking or in a queue, someone shouting at you, and you still be meditating? Can you be in traffic, late for something, and still be sitting there, well, I can still regulate myself and keep myself exactly where I want to be? It's not really breathing awareness, is mindful meditation, but I get drift away. Well, that's the thing. It's subjective. Some people, when I do a walking meditation, I just focus on my heart. That's all I do. Then when I walk down to the seafront, I literally stand right by the sea, and I focus my attention just out on the horizon. And I'm, like you said, it is just completely just daydreaming, essentially. That's what it is. But daydreaming for something positive. And what I'm doing is, when I'm daydreaming, I'm creating exactly what I want in my life. And then that's when it begins to come to me. And that's great. That's the thing. As long as you've got some sort of place and time where you can really focus on exactly who you want to become and what you want to create, then you're going to make these shifts. If you've got time in your day, make time in your day. I don't care who you are, I don't care how busy you are. I saw a video of someone post this morning, and someone was talking about they don't have time to work out or to walk or to exercise. And then someone else replied with, it was a bit of a dig, but it was a very valid comment. The Rock is possibly one of the busiest people in the world. He still has time to work out because he makes time. He wakes up at 4 a.m. to work out. Now, what it comes down to is, are we being lazy, or are you genuinely wanting these shifts in your life? If you genuinely want these shifts in your life, then you're going to do all it takes to get that. For example, I want to impact as many people as possible. I do. So my days are focused on how can I do that? If that means making live on here, live on Instagram. If that means posting another video to YouTube, editing a video, scheduling some videos, posting a TikTok, then that's what I'm going to do. And that's what motivates me, is the long-term outcome, but the short-term steps at the same time. I'm getting a very dry mouth. I've been talking for about an hour now. Before The Rock was The Rock, he was a pebble. What a stone cold. Exactly. And he wasn't born the rock, he was born the pebble. You know what I mean? He wasn't born 6 foot, whatever he is now. Fucking like he's just incredible. He's just like huge. I mean, his biceps are the size of like 2 of my heads. He's huge. So what that comes down to is the work and effort he was willing to put into that. The more effort he put into that, the faster he got his results. Drink some water. I'm out. I need more. What do you chant when meditating? I personally just do Om. Now you can do like all of the different. Where are we? Let me show you. Where is it? Here we go. So you've got all the different chants for each chakra. Now Om is for the 7th and 6th, which is your crown and your third eye. Don't know if you can see that. It's a bit blurry. Yeah, you can't really see it. So you've got basically from your root chakra, which is the red one, you've got Lam, then your sacral chakra, which is Vam, then your solar plexus chakra, which is Ram, heart chakra, which is Yam, throat chakra, which is Ham, and then third eye and crown, which is Om. They're the certain things. I didn't know that about that one. But also you can just chant affirmations. Like when I go down the beach, like my thing is abundance right now. I feel like I've done all of my healing, and now it's just focusing on how can I create a business that allows me to impact more people, that allows me to help more people, that allows me to generate abundance. So my mantra, I suppose it's a mantra, it's more of an affirmation. The universe's wealth flows through me and to me. All my needs, wants, and desires are met instantaneously because I am at one with the universe. The universe is at one with me. Now, I will be saying that out loud. It's sort of slightly changed from the one that Tony Robbins says about abundance. But it's really just allowing you to create and generate that abundance in your life. That's what it's down to. Are you generating more abundance in your life? And that's what it goes for me. Where is my focus? Is it the fact that there's only this much in my bank account? Is it the fact that I've never made this much money? Or is it the fact that this is how much could be in my bank account? This is how many people I could reach. This is how many people I am going to reach. This is how much of an impact I can help people. This is how it's going to feel when I get there. It's not if, it's when. And obviously, that's hard to do. It's not easy. When did you start being into stones and chants and meditations? Do you mean crystals? Crystals. How cool is that? I've been into it for a long time. Meditation was the first thing, and I suppose that was 5 years. 5 years ago. How old am I? Yeah, 5 years ago, I'd say. When I first started meditating, it wasn't every day. I think I was possibly 19 when I started meditating every day. The crystals were similar time, and chanting was when I went in 2018 when I went to a retreat, and that was I really like the very what's the word? Like the very esoteric philosophies, all the monks, like Buddhism, all that kind of stuff. I'm not like religious, but I really like the old teachings. I much prefer it to the new way of living. There's so much healing in the nutrition we have, the stuff we eat, so all that kind of stuff, down to how we think, how we feel, and now it's being scientifically proven. So that's why I like it even more. But I was always a big believer before I saw the science behind it. It was probably already scientifically proven, but I like the science behind it. What do you associate yourself spiritually, religiously speaking? I just associate myself as a spiritual person, to be honest. There's nothing like my opinion, and whether this is a right or wrong opinion, I don't know. But this is like a great picture I saw that it was like a meme that someone made. And it was like imagining, hold on, let me get a cloth. It was like imagining that you're in the ocean and you're a goldfish. I'm not the best drawer, so bear that in mind when you see it. And it's kind of like that, how the spirituality is the side of things where it is, yeah. And the spirituality side is like you're free in an ocean, and everything sort of, if it works, it works. That's what I believe. If you believe a religion works, and then that's true. It does work for you, not for me. But then I believe that being in one religion and not seeing other perspectives as true. Now, you can be in a religion and see other perspectives as true, and then you're sort of in that spiritual realm. But just believing in one religion and one religion only, and one religion's right and that's it, then you're in a fishbowl. Because pretty much every religion, they say the same thing. From what I've understood, I may be completely wrong, but from what I've understood. So it's about making those shifts. How about science? What do you mean about that? What do you mean about the science? Do you integrate it with spiritual? Yeah, I do. I like the fact that people thought that spiritual or what are they called, biblical healings. So like they say Jesus healed people, healed all that kind of stuff, was spiritually only. Whereas now, Joe Dispenza is a great example, and anyone that is that knows my work, I quote a lot of Joe Dispenza. I pretty much watch him I do watch him every single day without fail, because I love his work, because he bridges that gap very well. He makes the spiritual actually scientific as well. So the fact that focusing on gratitude actually generates more oxytocin in your body, it's scientifically proven. The fact that like you can believe something, and if you change your belief, you actually change your brain. You create new connections in your brain. Now, people just thought that was a spiritual thing of like, when you believe in something higher than you, like, do you know what I mean? It was always like that. Whereas now, it's not necessarily science versus spirituality, it's science and spirituality combined. And that's what I like. I like the fact that it is science and spirituality combined, because it's the way it works. You've got to be able and willing to combine the both, in my opinion. I've kind of gone completely off topic of what I was going about, but I've enjoyed it. I'm going to do some more lives on here, actually. You see it that way too. I think it's again, for me, it's the right way of seeing it. For you, it's the right way of seeing it. For some people, it's not necessarily the right way of seeing it, but who are we to say that they're wrong? Do you know what I mean? We are right for ourselves and ourselves only. We're going to be right for other people. And the greatest, very few people want to associate them together. I know. And I get why they don't. But we live in an age now where it's proof that they are together. So it's like they say, when we live in an age of information, ignorance is a choice, because it is. So it's down to whoever's doing whatever to make that decision to say, am I going to just be spiritual and not believe in any scientific things? My opinion, I don't agree with any pharmaceuticals at all whatsoever. I just don't. Again, some people have had great things from science, but I do believe the power of ourselves, that we can make these shifts in our life, and we don't need something that is man-made to heal ourselves. The power of thought alone is one of the most powerful things. Tend to associate them together. Yeah, I think it is. I feel like the term spiritual people really is the open-minded people, and that's what I said. Like, if you're a genuinely spiritual person, then you see everything as true. Like, I look at Christianity, and I'm not a Christian at all. My opinion on Christianity is Jesus was a very learned man who began to like speak to people like this. It was just they didn't have cameras back then. I'm not religious, but I respect people's beliefs. Exactly, and that's one of the powerful things. You're in chronic pain daily, and I don't think I could live without my painkillers. And that's the thing, Tori. There's proof now. If you read Joe Dispenza's work, you are the placebo. And it's scientifically proven that people can take a placebo tablet, which is a sugar pill or a saline injection, and be told that they're getting the substance that is the painkiller or something like that, or an antidepressant. And because their belief is so strong in that thing, focus and intention on something, it began to heal them, but their body was doing the healing because the external thing was just a sugar pill. Sleep needed him. You're coming out with them, Sir Gesture. I love it. But that's the thing. That's the real thing. Is I'm not saying to anyone, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to say anything that is like, stop taking your pain tablets or stop taking your medication or stop this, stop that. I just don't like what they do because they are not there to help you. They are there to mask. That's all they do. You can't come off of painkillers by taking more painkillers. You can't. That's not what they're designed to do. You can't come off antidepressant by taking more antidepressants. You can't come off smoking by more smoke. It's literally the same thing, but you can come off it when you do the deep healing. And this is where you don't have to be religious. You don't have to be spiritual to do this work. You don't have to be spiritual to meditate, but you do have to. Painkillers don't affect the pain particularly. Anti-inflammatory attacks the inflammation, therefore the pain reduces. Yeah, so that's what it is. It reduces the feeling at that moment. So it literally is like a mask. And again, I'm not like a doctor or anything, but it's just a mask. That's all it is. So like I said, it's not just like, oh, how can I get off them right now instantly? Because like I said, I'm not a doctor. Studying medicine and I'm learning this stuff at work. Oh, that's amazing. That's so cool. But it's really down to you to make those decisions to say, or do I want to heal this long term? Because like I said, it's like the same example with smoking. Smoking is a short-term stress relief. But what's a long-term stress relief? Actually managing, or stress management techniques, actually releasing all the pain that causes stress. That's the long term. It's easier to have a cigarette than it is to do deep healing. It is. It's easier to take a painkiller than it is to do deep healing. And after listening to Joe Dispenza's story about how he broke his back and was told he'd never be able to walk again, and now walks perfectly fine because of the power of intention and healing, and like he talks about like quantum physics, like diving into the quantum realm of possibilities. The possibility of you being healed, Tori, is out there without pain. There is a possibility. If you can't see that right now, it's about building a model of understanding in here so that you can see that. When you build the model of understanding in your mind, then you can see it externally, then it starts to come to you. And I've even been thinking, I was doing a meditation last night actually, and for some reason I was literally, I ended up falling asleep sitting up. I was not meditating for that long, and I woke up like after 3 hours or something. And it literally popped in my mind. This is how manifestation works. It popped in my mind that I need to go out and do some more spiritual understanding with, I have to take tablets to counteract side effects from some tablets I take. That's what I don't like. Now, as I said, I'm not here to help you just chuck them away because I don't agree with that. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. But if something's giving you, like meditation doesn't give you a reaction. You don't have to counteract meditation with something else because it's bad, because it has a bad side effect. And anything I recommend only has good side effects. Only has good side effects. That's why I do it. We can heal ourselves. And I believe that we should use medication if needed. First work, recovery. Yeah, I agree. I'm personally, for myself now, like I say, for anyone else, I agree with that. For me, whether I'm living from more ego, I don't know. I will just refuse it point blank. I do not like medicine whatsoever. I do not want to touch it. I don't personally agree with it. Now, like I said, whether that's the right or wrong answer, I don't know. But for me, that's how I want to do it. But I agree with what you said there. If people need it at that moment in time, then I think they should. My understanding and belief is so strong towards the power we have that I don't need it. That's my belief. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Surgery is different. Surgery is something that's completely abnormal to our body. So are you refusing the? Yeah. Oh, 100%. I am anti-vax. People say like I'm not anti-vax. I'm pro-choice. I personally, for me, again, I'm anti-vax. Reason being is I understand my research on it. If people do their research on it and they want to take it, that's down to them. I can't stop you, and that's down to you to take it. But for me, it's not the right thing. I don't want to take it. I will never take it, especially if I'm being forced to take something. Then I definitely won't take it. But like you said about you refuse to take it, but you have to take it due to my work. What, are they forcing you to take it? I do not like that at all. That's disgusting. Oh my God. That is crazy. And that's the thing, like, it is an experiment at the end of the day. It's not been tested. It has not been tested. But also when you look into vaccines, like I don't want to dive too much into it because my belief may be a bit controversial, but when you look into it, the time vaccines came out is when the information or the cases of anything were at an all-time low when it came out. Yes, I can. I'm just going to reply to how about doctors and surgeries? I just want to reply to that. If you're having your body cut open, that's abnormal. So I would agree that you need, what's it called? I can't think of what it is. It's what you have after a surgery. You do need to take that because it's an abnormal thing. Like years and years ago, you didn't have people doing surgeries, like hundreds and thousands of years ago. Could you shed light onto why anti-vax? Yeah, personally for me, I know that our bodies do not need external substances to heal ourselves. I know that. We don't need it. Some people need to take it initially because they need the belief. They need it there. Like I said, you are the placebo is a great example that you don't need foreign substances in your body to heal yourself. You do not. Now, other things are, I don't want any foreign substances in my body. You look at people from even hundreds of years ago, diseases weren't around. But when you look at like a lot of these really awful diseases weren't around. And when you look at things that are going on now, good morning, everyone. How's it going? When you look at everything that's going on now, people are eating like crap. They're not exercising. They're not focused on their health. So for me, it says when you go back to basics and you start focusing on you, then you don't need these foreign substances to stop yourself. And like I said, if someone wants to take it, that's down to them. I can't stop them, and I'm not going to try and stop them unless I love them and they're part of my family. I will explain why. I'm not going to go into that now. But from the research I've done, it's not worth it. Do you know what I mean? If something had such a low percentage chance of taking your life, do you need to protect yourself from it? No. It's like if there's a percentage chance of it's going to rain, do you need to take an umbrella with you? No. If there's a 0.0001% chance of it's going to rain, you don't need an umbrella because you're likely going to be all right. So it just comes down to, for me, for the logic side of it. Many years ago. Oh, I totally agree with that, Tori. I totally agree with that. And the thing is, what is really frustrating me is people are now becoming so scared to do anything. You literally see people so scared to go outside, which is then going to cause mental health issues, which is then causing suicide. So there's actually been becoming more suicides than there is COVID cases or COVID deaths, not cases. But again, what is COVID? It's a flu. It's a very bad flu. Flu comes around every year. So you're not going to have to take this vaccine once. You're going to have to take it for the rest of your life. You're going to have to keep taking it. You can't just take it once because it doesn't do anything once. Once you get this vaccine, you're safe, apparently. No, you're not safe. You can still spread it. So what's the point? There's, in my opinion, there's no logical point. If it said you will be 100% safe, that the company that give it to you will take liability if there's any damage. If they said that, then it would be a bit more off my back. But they're not saying that. They're saying they do not take any responsibility because they do not want any responsibility. This live probably may get ended. I don't know if I'm talking about this. Well, that's the thing. You still can't travel. So for me, it's saying, what's the point in taking it? Because and also a lot of the bad reactions I've seen, people literally dying from it. People don't talk about that. That's not in the news as much. But that's the thing. What you're saying there is you must comply. It's not about you're doing it for your health. It's not they're doing it for your health. It's just about complying. So that's where I would be like, is there anything you can do about that? And for me, regardless, I would refuse it. If someone tried to force me, you would have to literally pin me down and sedate me to make me have it, because I'm not having it. Let's start a band called Joe Dispenza and the Placebos. Dispenza. I love that. I love that. I love that. But it is causing a lot of issues. It's good that you moved to this conversation on YouTube, because Instagram is strict about this stuff. Yeah. But yeah, that's my honest opinion about it. Like I said, I would always recommend people do their own research. I do my own research. Like, don't take my word for it. Like, don't take my word for it. I'm Max. Do you know what I mean? I'm no one to you. Don't just take my word, but take my word that you should do your own research. Look at all the cases of how many people have died from it. Look at all the other things of things going wrong in people's lives from vaccinations. But then look at also people that have had vaccinations and lived a healthy life. Look at all the people that have had vaccinations or that haven't had vaccinations and have lived a completely healthy life. If everyone else has it, or something I saw was, if you have a mask, then you don't need a vaccine and you don't need social distance. Or if the mask works, you don't need the vaccine, you don't need social distance. If the vaccine works, you don't need social distance, you don't need the mask. If the social distancing works, you don't need the vaccine or the mask. But they all just combat each other. Everything they say just begins to contradict itself. Glad you do. If not, we can call it Bruce and the epigenetics. That doesn't work as well. I think the Spencer and the placebos works better. Yeah, that's the thing. It's all this live has gone completely from changing your life to all this stuff. But like I said, make it important right now. Manifestation for me. Everybody say yay, because I have manifested the perfect conversation. It's in my favor. Oh, that's amazing. You've got this. You've got this. We believe in you. We believe in you. But yeah, guys, I'm thinking about doing more lives on here. Maybe every day. I don't know. I'll give it a go, as long as I've got time every day to do it. Or there we go. That's me making that excuse of making time for it. Do you know what I mean? So I'm thinking about doing more lives. I've been for an hour and 20 minutes. So I'm going to end this live now, guys. If anyone has any questions before I end, please let me know. My camera's literally about to die as well. I use my camera as the thing. But yeah, guys, it was lovely speaking to everyone. I hope everyone has an amazing day. What will you do after this? I've got to actually shoot some videos, so I've got to charge my camera again to shoot some videos, and then I've got a call at 6:30, and then I've got a clubhouse room at 8 o'clock. If anyone wants to join the clubhouse, feel free. Send me a message and I'll send you the link. But see you later, guys. Have an amazing rest of your days. Oh. End.